So we spent a lot of time talking about um, IT project management and systems development methodology and conversion methodology and so on. What the question is, are IT projects really that hard? Should we really spend that much time and energy worried about the methodologies or the disciplines of project management? Well, what is the reality? Well, this is a survey done by a company called Standish Group on over 800 companies. They asked the companies to recall one of the major IT projects that they've done recently and report the results. We can see that about one third of the company says that it was very successful, but about one half says that it was challenged. Means that they run into some kind of risks or there's some difficulties in developing it. What's alarming is that almost 1/6 of the companies said that it was an outright failure. It means that it just didn't work, or it's a waste of money, or it just didn't meet the requirements. This is not promising. It just it this survey result tells you that in general, IT projects are not easy to implement. So this sort of justify our focus on the methodologies and the management skills themselves. But why are they so hard? Why would some IT projects actually fail? Is it because we just don't know what we're doing, or people just don't believe in the system's methodologies and all that? Well, in most cases, people know what they have to do. People know what's the right thing to do. But when problems come, they don't worry about and if the problems are not directly related to their operations or to their responsibilities, then they will say, okay, so that's not our problem, although it's the same project that we're working on. We know what's the right thing to do, but do we really do the right thing? So, for instance, we all know that we should make sure that we understand the key issues, like the technology issues or business issues immediately. But a lot of times we just assume that other people know, so we don't ask those difficult questions. We don't deal with the hard ones. We don't start with the challenging situations. We just want to make sure that nothing bad happens, and a lot of times we just bury the bad news. So a lot of project failed not because we don't know what the right things to do. We just don't do the right things. But even when we select the right methodologies, we set up the whole process correctly, and then we execute the project management well, there's still failure. There's still challenges. So why? Well, we are facing with a lot of other factors outside of the methodologies, outside of the project execution itself. So, for instance, if the project is not supported by executives or business users, and if we're not finding if we're not matching the solution to the problems, if the users are not trained or not prepped very well, or the whole implementations are not really communicated very well with the users, then even when we use the best methodology, even if we execute everything right, then the systems themselves may not be used properly. The systems themselves may not be solving the problems, or the systems themselves may not be able to deliver any of the business values. So this goes back to the same IT value and the business case part of the discussion, because we need to understand not only how to execute the project technically, but we need to understand, but we need to make sure that all of those things are done along with the business side. So we want the top management support. We want to show that the systems or the IT solution is to a real problem. We want to make sure that there's a clear need felt by the users and sponsors, and we want to have ongoing success, early success along the way, so people are confident in this project and people know that this is something that we should be doing. So some of you have probably seen this. And yeah, it is a joke, but it is also a cynical representation of what happens in many cases. So going back to the chart on the Standish Group survey, this is probably how those companies feel when they see a large IT project fail, right? So this is really important for us, the business managers, to understand that when implementing an information systems project, it really takes a lot of planning. It really takes a lot of work from the business side, not only the IT side, to make sure that not only the project is delivered, but also it meets the business requirements and you really satisfy all the operations and process needs. And hopefully, we understand the process, we understand the methodology, so we can always do the right thing when we pull together an IT project.